Okay, before we kick in to the news, we're going to talk about the recent EP that was dropped by Hertfordshire metal band Lowdown. So the EP is called All Hail the Riff. Now, Kirk, you've obviously already done quite a detailed one for Screen Blast Repeat. So obviously, if you want to get a more detailed look into this, your thoughts on the EP, please do go check out the Screen Blast Repeat website. And you can find all the information about the more detailed breakdown from Kirk. But for us, we're going to go into a bit more of a kind of how we thought and felt about the particular EP. So, Andy, what was your thoughts when you heard it?
I was very much looking forward to this. Enjoyed watching Lowdown over the last sort of year or so. Seen the band a couple of times, got to know the guys really well. Myself and well, me and you, Dave, we were involved in the video for one of the tracks on this EP, which I'm very proud to say. This is a really, really well produced EP. It sounds really good. The sound is great. One thing I like about Lowdown, a feature of their tracks is there is usually one main, very catchy, very hooky riff. That sort of is backbone of the song, a big percentage of the sort of the playing time, and it really sort of sticks in your head. A prime example is the opener, Sleep. There's probably only sort of 3 riffs in it, but the main one is just so catchy. It's simple. There's open strings, and it's just really good. I mean, Dave Runham has got a great voice. He clean. He hits some notes. And he's a really good frontman as well, and they're deservedly here in the semi-final on Monday of Melts the Masses, and we wish them well. But yeah, if you get hold of the EP online or yourself a physical copy, well worth it, well worth checking out. I mean, it's only 4 songs, 20 minutes, but it's really, really good. Highly recommend it.
Okay, Kirk, what about yourself? Because I've not had a chance to really get to your level of your review. So what's your thoughts when you went through it?
Yeah, let's put it in some context. So this is a 4-track EP called All Hail the Riff that was self-released by the band on the 9th of May. So all 3 of us have heard these songs, and they are superb in a live environment. I'm pleased to say they've captured that energy on record, and that really is down to Dave Runham, who's the vocalist and guitar player and the drummer. I think they are magnificent in the studio. On the evidence of this EP. Andy, you mentioned the opening track, Sleep. I love the extended intro to that. It's like they're mixing Zakk Wylde and Black Label Society, but with a really greasy hard rock riff, and then there's a bit of Pantera downpicking as well. The vocals, they often flirt with like a traditional heavy metal vocal range, but there's a lot of there's a gruff nature to them as well, with a lot of vibrato notes in all the right places. I think it's easy to overlook the technique and the very high standard of vocals on this. You would take this for granted in the 80s. Everybody was a fantastic singer, weren't they, before we had the advent of more extreme vocal styles, and Dave certainly can draw from the greats the way he's doing it. And I really like track number 3 for me. I called it a metallic blues orgasm. And when you listen to this song, Tell Me More, it is almost like a homage to ZZ Top, to Billy Gibbons, because I think he's credited with really inventing the pinch harmonic. But it's as if Dimebag Darrell is playing these riffs, and we've seen this live, this song. The guitar work, the extravagance, the flamboyance, it's incredible. You just there holding a beer and you're thinking, shit, I need to put this down. I want to get the air guitar out and really give this song the homage that it deserves. Really good structure as well. And Andy, as you said, what you'll find with these songs, often there will be probably no more than 4 riffs that really lay the foundations for the songs. But I like that. I'd rather listen to something like this that's got groove and grit than a tech death song that's got 29 riffs in the first 2 minutes. You can tell the level of songwriting is very high because of Dave's former band, Silas, who actually played Bloodstock, didn't he, in 2015. So there's former members from that band that are now in his hard rocking machine, Lowdown. The only song on this I can't really get behind, and the end of the live set on it, and it's a live track on this EP, is One More Drink. Now it's fun, but it doesn't quite go with the vibe of the other songs. It's really just your typical heavy rock and roll, almost too much of a throwback to the Sunset Strip LA scene of the 80s. There's still some great guitar work, but I'm not really into that rock and roll jive, and I just hope that they're not going to be writing songs like that in the future. I just think it detracts away from the quality of the first 3 tracks. But if you like heavy guitars, chunky riffs, flamboyant vocals, and a lot of energy, this EP is you're going to love it.
Okay.
I was just going to say, Dave, he loves a string, what's it called, a string bend, or a squeal, pinch harmonics. There's plenty of that in the songs, and it's fantastic. Say you want to play along with him. I've seen him. We was at the video shoot, and he's playing the song note perfect, although along to the video track. But yeah, very, very impressive.
Okay. So I'm going to try to wrap this kind of up before we go to our scoring. It would be really easy to turn around about Lowdown and call them a poor man's Black Label Society, if you like. And to be honest, Dave would probably accept that. He'd be like, I'll take that with a pinch of salt, mate. I'll have it. I'll grab that off. But it's not. I mean, I actually prefer Dave's vocals to Zakk Wylde's vocals on Black Label Society. There's a certain tonality with Zakk Wylde where he kind of goes down the Ozzy Osbourne route. And Dave's just got much more power in there. But yeah, he wears his influences on his sleeve, and he even said the fact that the song's called Lowdown, which is an early Black Label Society song. He's wearing his influences out, and he's wearing them proud. I got a little bit worried when I first heard Sleep, because I heard that intro part. I'm thinking, oh god, the production on this is bloody awful. What's going on here? And then it's that intro bit, and then it kicks in, and I'm like, thank God for that. This is actually really good. I'm enjoying it. The drums, you've got a very clear live drum feel. It's not over processed. I'm wondering if this was self-produced, not just self-released. There does feel this vibe from the whole thing that it was something where they've recorded it all themselves and mixed and mastered it. There's just certain levels of it, and I'd love to know if they haven't, then they've gone for a certain style maybe. Because I do have a habit, when you take it to like the guys at London Road or these other guys, they do a lot more compression. This didn't feel like there was a lot of compression over the whole thing. It felt like it was quite raw still, but just big and layered. The thing that stood out for me across all the songs though was the secondary vocal layers, where he's got some really strong dynamics where he's screaming and he's got a secondary vocal coming in. And I would love to hear those live, maybe filling in and doing some of those backing vocal bits. You don't notice it until you actually listen to this, how many different times he actually sings harmonies, and it works brilliantly on the actual EP. I don't know what MOAB stands for. Do you guys?
I think it's Mother of All Bastards, isn't it?
I think you're right, Kirk. Yeah.
Okay. That actually even, although that was very classic, that's very classic early Black Label Society, even with hints of Zakk Wylde's previous band, Pride and Glory. Definite elements of that in there. I agree about the last track, One More Drink. It's a live recording. It feels like it's an EP filler to make up the numbers. I don't see the purpose of throwing it on there. I think if you're going to put that song on there, if it's an older song, fine. If it's a newer song, then just get it recorded ready for the EP and put it on as a proper track, because the problem with Spotify Shuffle is this could be the first chance you hear of Lowdown on a shuffle list. And is this the first impression you want to have out there as being this track? Although it sounds good at certain points, like the vocals can stand out really well, a live recording is not always going to be the first thing you want to have put out there. And that's my only query about this whole thing is, should that have been on there, or should they have just gone for a free track, keep it EP, keep it short, keep it sweet, don't include that, and just put it out of those 3 songs and actually, instead of tell me more, get them wanting more. That's what I'm thinking there. Okay, we should do some scoring then. So we score it obviously the usual way. Is it a buy it? I'm going in reverse today. We're going buy it, stream it, trade it, in it. It started with B's at the beginning. So as always, we'll throw to you, Andy. What's your scores on the doors?
Just before I do that, just add to what you said about the sort of layered vocals and additional vocals. When I saw Lowdown perform at Tri-Fest last weekend, and Pinnell, the second guitarist, he done quite a lot of backing vocals.
Oh, good.
or your vocals with Dave at the time. So yeah, you'll see that Sunday. So that's obviously another element to the band, recent addition with Ant coming on board. There's a new category, already bought it.
Yes, there you go. Well, then it's definitely aborted then.
Yeah.
So we've got to buy it from you. Well, mine has to then go to a buy it as well, because it's definitely more than the 50%, which is stream it. There is definitely 3 songs on there that I would definitely want to own, so I'm going to say it's a buy it. I would have liked to have been all 4 on there that I'd want to have, but at least 75% of that album or EP I'm definitely going to want, so it's a buy it from me. Kirk, over to you.
Yeah, as I had said, the first 3 tracks, they really do put the word hard back into hard rock, because that has become a bit of a meaningless term, hasn't it, as a precursor to heavy metal. This is really heavy, crunchy, groovy, my type of rock music. Love it. I would definitely buy this, and guess what, I already have a copy.
There we go. Well, for the second time this year, the A.D.K channel is giving out a unanimous buy it decree. So Lowdown and All Hail the Riff gets a buy it from the A.D.K channel. So there we go. Well done to Dave and the lads.